Before you guys get into today's Topic Thunder, just a word of warning. I forgot to change the presets on my Zoom recorder, so it's going to go back to the tinny, nasally, what people complained about, and I've gotten right every other time, but I forgot this time. So just a word of warning before you get in. Enjoy the show. It's just this once. I will remember always. Please don't hold me to that. Topic Thunder.
In a world crying out for a top 10 show, John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys.
Before you guys get into today's Topic Thunder, just a word of warning. I forgot to change the presets on my Zoom recorder, so it's going to go back to the tinny, nasally, what people complained about, and I've gotten right every other time, but I forgot this time. So just a word of warning before you get in. Enjoy the show. It's just this once. I will remember always. Please don't hold me to that. Topic Thunder.
Hey, welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.
Here from the Top 10 Show, I am John Roca.
I am Matt Nost. Thank you to everybody that supports us over at patreon.com/the top 10. This was a show that used to be just for them, but we opened it up once the pandemic hit to just throw more out there, more people. We get tweets and messages all the time saying, dude, you have no idea how much, I appreciate all the content you guys are generating.
Yeah.
But for those people that it does, it helps them get through their week. They had a bad week. They sit down. Somebody tweeted us today or yesterday or something, just like, I got so busy, but I binged a ton of your stuff and it helped me through a rough time. It's like, awesome, man. Fantastic. Yeah. So that's what Topic Thunder is. It's, they handle all the questions, but we put it out for the world.
That's right. They must love our voices talking about it. Yeah. Do you like this? Talking about it, just getting right on into it. Yeah, it's all this conversational topics that they bring up. And, the patrons, although this is not just for the patrons only anymore in terms of viewing capacity, it is for the patrons only who can send questions in. So if you want to be a patron, as Matt pointed out, the address, go there, see the multiple tiers. I think it's the $5 and above that can send in questions. So go and subscribe at least at that level if you haven't yet, hesitating about it. And hey, maybe some of you have been hesitating about it. And look, we're giving you so much incredible content. We just started the golden ticket. Hope you guys are enjoying that as well. You guys and you ladies are enjoying that as well. So look at all this extra content we've been giving you guys. And if you're not on the Patreon, not donating, maybe hesitating or whatever, make a move. Come aboard the train. Come aboard the top 10 train. Keep us afloat. Keep us alive because we like entertaining you guys. And look how much extra stuff we're putting on the plate during these times to keep you entertained and what have you. So that's my hardcore, softcore pitch for that there. That's my approach.
Yeah. All right. You ready? You want to start?
Yeah. Let's do this thing. Oh, yeah. Let's start with Nick Francis, right? He had one from last week, and so we'll start him off again with his second one this week. He says, hi, John and Matt. Which villains would you like to see appear in the Reeves-Pattinson Batman movies that haven't been in a movie yet or have only been done poorly in movies? Personally, I want to see some of the more fantastical villains like Man-Bat, Clayface, or the Mad Hatter. But I also think Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze deserve a second shot. Thanks for taking my question. All right. What do you think, Matt?
Poison Ivy's tough to me to do live action. Because it's such I don't know. Freeze seems more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't go over the top the Schwarzenegger route. And I love to this day that he still enjoys what he did in that movie.
Oh, he'll defend it to his death. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just it's a bad movie, but I had fun. So I don't, hey, good for him. Why not? Yeah. Let's see. What other villains? I'd like to see the Riddler and Penguin again.
Yeah, I'd like to see a better Penguin. I'm agreeing with you on that. Better Riddler for sure. There's so much more to explore with Edward Enigma, than they did with Jim Carrey, which that film is utterly unwatchable now. At least for me, it's utterly unwatchable. There's so many more. And they've invented so many more new villains over the last few years as well as they've tried to expand Batman out, like Black Mask, which appeared in the Birds of Prey movie.
Black Mask is great.
Some of that, right? It's a great villain.
It is. It's an excellent villain. And then you could do Red Hood.
You could do Red Hood. Yeah, that's another one. A live action Red Hood would be a lot of fun. And certainly within the Pattinson realm of things could be interesting as well, because it doesn't have to necessarily have been Jason Todd. It could be Jason Todd, but Jason Todd was maybe someone who was a little bit younger than him, who went to school at the, maybe the same school or whatever. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that Pattinson was like his mentor in any way, shape, or form. It could just be someone that knew about him or knew him, and so they have some kind of connection as well. Yeah, I'd love that. I guess Huntress is a possibility. We've seen what Mary Elizabeth Winstead did, but there's more to explore there. I think Batgirl, maybe not villain wise, but a better Batgirl could be interesting. Yeah, doesn't grab you.
Yeah, I want Batman. I don't want Robin. I don't want Batgirl.
Okay.
I don't want any outside of Gordon. I want Batman. Okay. That's all I want. Any other Huntress never jumped off the page for me. That's the only reason I'm against him there. I wish to me Poison Ivy would work, and maybe they could pull it off. I just don't see how it's possible.
Yeah, it's a tough one for sure. What else is out
just
here?
To make plants grow, it looks too ridiculous to me in a world of superheroes when you're doing live action.
Yeah.
It's just,
well, I mean, he suggested Mad Hatter. I think that would be weird seeing a guy.
Mad Hatter would be good.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, all right. I think Mad Hatter. I would love to see, even though I liked it the first time, Scarecrow again.
Oh yeah, Scarecrow. Mm-hmm. I was finishing up. I was rewatching Batman Dark Rises over the last few days, like in half an hour, 45-minute chunks. I like that movie, man. I like that they brought people back. I like that they got all these villains to essentially come back and tell the story. So I would like to see Scarecrow again. Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense, though.
Okay. Tell me why.
That's the problem. Okay. So, Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
In illegal transaction happens on a floor. Like,
the stock exchange thing.
The robbery there, they would then shut down all trades that happened, and that day would just be nullified, and it doesn't matter. Anything suspect around the time, there's no way guys come in with machine guns, and then a massive trade that royally screws one person goes through, that the system doesn't go, no, we protect our oligarchs. And it does. So there's just no way. Okay, say it does go through.
Okay.
Fine. Goes back to his house, and now he's being foreclosed on. So Bruce Wayne didn't build that with his expendable wealth that he had on the side. Like, he took out a loan, and now all his money, he wasn't diversified in any way. All his money was wiped out. So he gets evicted from, get the fuck out of here. Then the bomb at the end, he's got a nuclear bomb, and he's monologuing to what's her name. It's just like, dude, that is a bomb. And he's just stopping to talk. I don't give a fuck. Get it out of the city. He just happens to fortuitously show back up with 12 hours left, or 16 hours, whatever, so he can do the big bat signal in flame.
Yeah.
It's been going on for months, and finally it's going to happen. He just magically, no. It's a lot of coincidence, and it's stretching of illogical bounds.
For me, it's a comic book movie, and so I accept it for what it is. And I hear your logical issues, but also the Joker would be dead about 1,000 times over in The Dark Knight.
Yes, but that's what happens in the comic book movie. To ground it and make it more impactful to us is the day-to-day life of Bruce Wayne. So when that's completely illogical to me, well, then the rest of this is like, I don't care. And then the monologue at the end was like, that seals the deal for me on this movie. I don't care for it.
The one thing I forgot about, though, because I haven't watched these in quite some time, Pete Holmes really nails the Batman voice when he does those parodies.
He does.
It does sound exactly like Christian Bale doing that voice. I guess I'd forgotten how much of that.
Mr. Fishy! No! Yeah, some of those are excellent. Just flat out.
The Penguin one is just the best.
Well, it is bad. He's got one with Superman that's good. He's got one. He's got like 5, 6, 7 that I've seen, I believe.
The Dark Knight one is funny too. But we had sex. Yeah. I had rubber. I didn't even shower. It's all squishy. Anyway, all right. So there's our answer. Thank you, Nick, for sending that in. What do we got next, Matt?
Charles Kim sends in, hi, John and Matt. Thank you so much for all the content and for making the past 4 months less miserable. Okay. My question for you is the following. Which actor or actress is body of work has been forgotten or overlooked by today's audiences? I think De Niro and Daniel Day-Lewis get an abundance of praise, while Jimmy Stewart is rarely spoken of, which is unfortunate. He had one heck of a career. Mm-hmm. Would who would you say, deserves more attention for their accomplishments? Thanks, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Sincerely, Charles Kim.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead, bud.
I read it, so go ahead.
Oh, two leap to mind. Barbara Stanwyck. No one talks about Barbara Stanwyck anymore. And Barbara Stanwyck was incredible. She was in Westerns. She was in straight drama. She was in film noirs, Double Indemnity. She was a lead actress in a lot of really good films that have stood the test of time. And she was a strong presence on screen. And someone that you normally, by appearance, you don't think would be as strong and be able to jump genres and do really incredible work. And she was one of those that did. Gary Cooper is another. Yeah, people talk about High Noon, but talk about Pride of the Yankees, talk about Sergeant York, talk about some of these other films. I do think people still talk about Jimmy Stewart because of It's a Wonderful Life. You know, I think he's still in essentially the pop culture conversation. Maybe not as powerfully as he was before, but he certainly hasn't faded. But I would say Gary Cooper has. Now, rarely do people mention Gary Cooper in anything other than High Noon as one of those quintessential Westerns. But there's a crap ton of films that he's been incredible in. Yeah. And Jimmy Stewart also doesn't leave the public consciousness because of all the Hitchcock films he was in.
Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I think of when that, and then It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, I think Jimmy Stewart's not a prime example.
Right.
Gary Cooper, like, I agree with you. And who knows with De Niro and Day-Lewis, if 30, 40 years after their death, we assume some of theirs will hold up, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, Jimmy Stewart, he still has movies that stand up that people watch, and it's appointment watching for them.
Yeah.
So, but Gary Cooper's, fucking a horse of a different color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot, like, even Portier, right? Once you get past In the Heat of the Night, how many people can really name you a bunch of films that Sidney Poitier was great in?
Sneakers.
Yeah, okay, fair. Sneakers is good.
I like Sneakers a lot.
It's a good film. Great ensemble cast. The Defiant Ones is another one. He won the Oscar for Lilies of the Field, Patch of Blue, A Raisin in the Sun. There's a lot of them, but they rarely get mentioned. Now it's like Denzel or whoever else you want to mention that's a currently powerful black actor. But it's like Sidney gets lost in the appreciation, I think, overall, when people talk about the greatest.
But don't you think it's also the context of the movie themselves? Because some of those of various actors translate over the years, whereas others feel very of the time. Like cinema graduated in the 70s, and it kind of acclimated us to, we can do all of this now. And that's why those guys are held in higher regard by and large.
Right.
Just because those movies can be more thought-provoking or groundbreaking or shocking than the studio fare that you got. So the fact that we still remember some of their names shows you it's a testament to the movies, but the bulk of what came out that year is not my cup of tea, so it's kind of impressive.
Right. What about Tom Berenger, Matt? Like, Tom Berenger was the king in the 80s and 90s, and then poof.
Was he?
I mean, come on.
He worked a lot, but
Platoon?
Was he?
Major League?
Okay.
Hold on.
What was his big, huge hit that made Tom Berenger? He was a name.
I think I have to say Platoon, isn't it?
Sure.
Right.
But do you think of his Platoon as buku box office? No.
I know it was nominated for Best Picture, and I think he won for Best Actor. But let's see, because he showed up in Inception as well, which was a mind-blowing moment. Let's see here. The Big Chill, Eddie and the Cruisers. Come on, these are iconic films here. Platoon. He had that Shoot to Kill film is pretty good with him and Poitier and Kirstie Alley rather. Major League. Born on the 4th of July, but he's not really that much into it. And then Gettysburg. And then he kind of after The Substitute, he kind of falls off the rails here.
Yeah. Did he do those sniper movies?
Yes, the sniper movies. He was in Training Day. He had a part in Training Day.
Exactly. But he became his role in Inception and Training Day. You come in for a smaller, there's Tom Berenger.
Right. What about Michael Biehn? Do you think Michael Biehn felt anything there? Nah, I guess not that. Not that level. Right.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
2 to 3.
That's fair.
Terminator, Aliens, and Abyss.
Yeah.
Which are 3 huge movies. It's crazy he didn't have more.
Right.
But, those are the only 3 that I can think of as beings.
I think in the 70s, if you want to look at actresses, Marsha Mason and Jill Clayburgh, go back and watch their movies if you want to really experience the 70s through a woman's point of view. they did some incredible. And Gina Rollins as well. It's just those three are incredible, and they just kind of get forgotten in the mix. And of course, Jill Clayburgh was Kristen Wiig's mom in Bridesmaids, and she's almost unrecognizable in that role, but she was great in the 70s, And Marsha Mason was like, poof.
Yeah, 40 years later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to our next one?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you to Mr. Charles Kim.
Thank you, Charles. Chris Lemke. I'm going to Lemke. All right. Lemke said, hey, guys, hope all is well over on your side of the country. Thank you. I know that film classics aren't normally as seen and recognized as the newer or more popular films, but it's a good group of film geeks that listen to the show, and especially on the Facebook page. So I'm sure we'd all love to hear some thoughts on films that you've enjoyed from before the 1960s. I've always loved films like It Happened One Night, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and The Third Man. Thanks and be well, Lemke. What do you say there, Matt?
Well, it's interesting that back-to-back questions deal with classic kind of pop culture versus not. Let's see, 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, really good one there.
Maltese Falcon.
Yeah, good stuff.
On the Waterfront.
Yes.
Streetcar, but I like On the Waterfront more.
Agreed.
What do you got?
Well, I mean, you've got Casablanca, right? People love Casablanca. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I know people love it. Humphrey Bogart, Jimmy Cagney, Public Enemies is a fantastic film. Little Caesar with Edward G. Robinson is incredible. Let's see, Yankee Doodle Dandy with Jimmy Cagney is great. Anything with it. White Heat is a fantastic 1950s film. I agree with Matt with On the Waterfront. Even The Wild Ones is a good Brando one to watch as well. High Noon, I think, is around the 50s as well. Speaking of that, I think Shane is around the 50s as well.
Shane, I'm pretty sure, is High Noon, is it?
Yeah, I think it's High Noon is like 51 or something like that.
Okay.
I'm trying for some reason. I think it is because it's in full on black and white.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 52. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Shane is 53. I think. Yeah, 53. Yeah. God damn it. Why couldn't that have been my 5-1? Anyway, those films are there. There's a lot of great. Sunset Boulevard is fantastic as well as a classic. A lot of the Kirk Douglas ones, the noir one, the one he did with Robert Mitchum. Damn, I can't remember the name of that one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Out of the Past. Out of the Past. Yeah.
Did you pull that? I'm sorry. I'm looking over the question.
No, totally pulled it. Yeah, it's in there. It's always in there somewhere, man. Night of the Hunter is a fantastic one with Robert Mitchum too, with the love and hate tattooed. What's the Gregory Peck one where he's the lawyer?
To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. That's
that one actually that still holds up pretty well. So it's slow at times, but it's still good.
I'd throw Citizen Kane in there. Touch of Evil.
How far back do you want to go? Because you got your Chaplins and your Buster Keatons. And I mean, I love me some early Three Stooges.
Three Stooges is great.
And Laurel and Hardy.
And Laurel and Hardy, yes.
Yeah. And Abbott and Costello is my all-time favorite.
Not bad.
For 2 months, I lived in, I think it was one of the two of them used to own a house up in Sherman Oaks, and I lived in the guest house for 2 months. I moved in, and then the owner's like, you know what? I'm going to sell the house. Sorry. I was like, that's fine. That's fine. I'll find another place. Yeah, I had been in my previous place for 4 years. I was happy there.
Right.
But the opportunity came up. My friend lived in the main house, and he's like, the pool house is opening up. Do you want it? And it was actually a little bit more expensive, but I could do laundry there. I didn't have to worry about street sweeping. Like certain things on trade-offs. And then it was, I want to say it was Abbott's house.
Oh, wow.
Way back when. Then I had to move out 7-8 weeks later.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep. It blew.
I still will watch Who's on First. That's still one of the classic bits that you're ever going to watch. Tight as hell. Great performances. If you guys have never seen Who's on First from Abbott and Costello, there's a great one they did for the Actors Home that they have on YouTube. Absolutely stellar.
Well, you can see the vaudeville act just on film. That was something they did on stage and just over and over and over. That's why the timing is so pitch perfect, because they've done that by repetition who knows how many hundreds, if not 1,000 times.
Yeah. Incredible stuff, man.
It is. Them with all the different monsters.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
'cause you get fucking that slayed me every time Costello would do that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, those with them, Three Stooges, and every once again I would watch Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, Laurel and Hardy was good too.
I never really watched the Marx Brothers.
Oh, I was a massive fan of the Marx Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Duck Soup.
Duck Soup I've seen, and
Day at the Races, Night at the Opera.
Night at the Opera I've seen.
Coconuts, Horse Feathers, which is the college one, which is hilarious.
Seen Horse Feathers.
There was only like 5 or 6. There weren't that many, but the ones that were there were really good.
Yeah, because the other 3 that we mentioned did shorts.
Yes, exactly. Good point. Yeah.
It's easier to stitch together just a loose collection of sketches than actually make a full movie.
I wish I could get it.
Maybe,
Go ahead.
I was going to say maybe I should watch them as an adult. I'd rather watch Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello or anyway.
For me, it's nostalgic, right? I was watching it as a kid. So I don't know. Watching it as an adult sometimes can be. It depends on the mood you're in, right? Because you're like, oh, these jokes seem so obvious. So it all depends, I think, on what mood you're in to enjoy those films for sure. Because they didn't do any shorts, I don't think, the Marx Brothers. I think it was all just like straight from vaudeville into feature films.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. But I only know so much about them because I've never. Oh, just lost John there. I don't know what happened. Kabitzin, hope you guys are liking the Golden Ticket. That is comes out. It was episode 2 dropped on this past Monday, and we hope you enjoyed that. It was a good time to record, and we're looking forward to in the near future. There you are.
Jesus Christ!
What you slapped your hand down and suddenly it just disappeared.
I apparently I had my mouse set on the exiting out of this thing when I was trying to exit out of the IMDb. So my bad, everybody, my bad. It happens. Anyway. The Marx Brothers, but we're moving on. I think we'll get time.
He did it again. Exit out. Let's see how long it takes him this time. And sorry for my low energy today. I've had a hell of a week, and I am dead tired, even though it's the middle of the day. But I'm here for you.
Jesus Christ!
Did it again, didn't you?
I'm so sorry. Someone take my computer away from me, man. Anyway, all right, we got to get to our next question, right? Let me do this correctly and go to our next question. All right, have you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, my man.
It's from Joe Abar. Says, howdy. Would love to hear your thoughts on this opinion that Chris Nolan is overrated.
Oh, here we go.
Having listened to the recent Cinephiles Inception episode, parenthetically great show, I found that although I like Inception, I wouldn't say it's great. Batman Begins, good, but good, not great. Interstellar is fine. Dunkirk is disappointing. Have we put this filmmaker on a pedestal he doesn't belong on? No one can deny how great The Dark Knight is. Excluding that, are his movies just okay? I find his presentation of films to be dull and not a lot of colors, even as an exclusion of people of color. Morgan Freeman, John David Washington being exceptions. I know every filmmaker has his style. However, his shots are repetitive. All the films are too long, too complex, even boring at times. His adamant attitude of releasing Tenet, though the No Chairs story, is making me lose respect for the man as well. What are your thoughts, Joe Ibarra?
Okay. Strong statement, Matt.
Sure.
I'm starting to hear this more and more amongst the quote-unquote film intelligentsia. First of all, when you say complex, Joe, try not to spell it complexed. It kind of takes away your point. But overall, just busting your balls. But overall, though, I have heard this from a number of people. They're starting to feel like Nolan is making the same movie over and over again. I think the man is a wonder with the camera, and I don't think necessarily his shots are repetitive. I think the moods are repetitive that you see in his movies, right? Like getting into Tenet, watching the new stuff that dropped today as we're recording this with Haley Atwell doing the voiceover for the thing about the word. It puts you back in the mood of this kind of like, I don't know what's happening. It's so strange. Like Inception. What's happening? It's so strange. I didn't care for Dunkirk myself. I'll probably never need to see that movie again. But I think he's an incredible filmmaker. And I never feel like his films are necessarily too overlong. I know that a lot of people felt like, speaking of which, Dark Knight Rises was a little too long. I didn't find it that way, but I know some people do. I loved Interstellar. Interstellar challenged me like crazy when I was watching that movie, and does every single time I watch it. I get, but I do get his point about the fact that there aren't many actors of color in his movies who are leads. So I totally get that. Maybe that changes, like you did with John David Washington, as Hollywood becomes more receptive to that possibility. I think it's possible to see that more and more in Christopher Nolan's films. But yes, I agree with you. His adamant desire to get Tenet out there, and it is coming out there now at the end of August internationally, and then the first week of September in some cities here in the U.S. So, people are starting to kind of turn on him. What do you think, Matt?
I don't know. I think he's ambitious each and every time, and I appreciate that about him.
Certainly true.
Yeah, he's trying to take swings. I understand his point of it's a lot of the same, because he has a style very distinctly. Like I love Interstellar. Inception is good. I just don't know if I need to see it again.
Yeah, fair.
So that's fine. Dark Knight, I love a lot. Batman Begins, I love a lot.
Yeah.
He's like any good director. I can appreciate what he's trying to do, even when it doesn't succeed for me.
Right.
But yeah, his qualms, like if you don't like the guy's style, I can totally see why. Like Dunkirk is sadly dull.
Yeah, it really is, right?
It's boring. And I gonna be racist on this. I can't tell the white people apart in almost every one of the scenes.
I don't disagree with you. That's what's so weird. They're all so nondescript.
Yes,
that you're just like,
it's one English potato after another, and just like, I don't know, that potato looks exactly like that potato.
I was following this guy. Are we going to a new guy? I cannot tell, because I was in a boat with this guy, but I might.
When they're in that boat on the beach and it's getting shot up and there's like 6 of them, I couldn't, outside of Harry Styles, they're all the same to me in that moment.
I don't disagree with you, man.
And Tom Hardy just gliding for 17 miles, making U-turns, and just like, that's not exactly how gravity works. And fucking, you still have the wind resistance and the friction there. So you're going to slow down to a degree that you can't coast up and down the fucking coast. Just like a glider. There's constant updrafts just keeping you. Get the fuck out of here.
He's in that Amazing Stories plane that, like, all of a sudden the cartoon wheels are going to come out.
Just the idea that average, everyday blue-collar workers, this is a legit, they went out and they saved, it's a tremendous story. It's incredible. And to walk out of that going, that was so boring.
Yeah, I know. That's why I prefer Darkest Hour. It tells the Dunkirk story as well in a different approach, but I prefer that over Dunkirk.
Yeah, it's more entertaining.
Certainly.
I think technically Dunkirk is a superior film to Darkest Hour.
Sure. But I enjoy Darkest Hour more. Yeah.
For Oldman's performance, if you took Oldman out and put somebody else in, I don't know if I like Darkest Hour near as much.
I don't disagree with you. It's the same thing with Lincoln. I wouldn't enjoy Lincoln without Daniel Day-Lewis in it as Lincoln.
No.
He's so good.
As a dude that loves it, I can't even fathom anybody else tackling that now.
Yeah. Oh, wait, were you the guy I got into the boat with? I don't remember.
Legitimately could not tell the difference. And I was like, I don't fucking know who the fuck this is. Is this the same dude?
Is it the same? The camera's following this guy now, but like, is this the guy that went in the boat? I can't tell. It's so true, Matt. I'm so glad someone else noticed that too. I was watching. I swear I felt terrible about myself because I was like, am I losing it? I don't know. Is this the same guy?
It was like, putting all of the same who's there? There's like 4 actors that all look almost exactly the same and they get work. I saw it online. That's why it's sparked. I can't remember who the first. If you can find one, you can find the others. But anyway, like if you just had all of that with the actors that have doppelgangers, like the Ed Hardy and that Logan whatever guy.
Oh, Marshall Green. Yeah, Logan Marshall Green. Yeah. And
you just do that. You cast a couple sets of twins and triplets in there and just like, it's the same effect. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah. We've got the other one was like Jamie Presley, Margot Robbie, and Samara Weaving. They all have the same kind of look, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you can tell them apart, but they do look, the Keira Knightley, Natalie Portman
situation. Right.
Yeah, and Daisy Ridley a little bit.
Yeah, right, Daisy. So anyway, thanks for that, Abara. Appreciate that, man. All right, we're at 29 minutes. I think we should wrap. You good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for sending in all your great questions. As you can tell, we enjoy answering them. It always leads us into some interesting conversations, discussions. We kind of slipped into the early days of Hollywood, which was a lot of fun, and then went on a little trip with Nolan. So thank you all so much. We can't thank you all enough for being patrons of the show as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you to everybody that supports us. You can. We hope you enjoyed Tuesday's main show and Monday's episode 2 of The Golden Ticket. And thanks to everybody that participated in Monday's show. It's been a lot of fun, and the feedback thus far has been pretty excellent. So we're happy you're enjoying it, and it's going to, got more shit in the hopper. We're working on different stuff. So stay tuned for that. Follow me anywhere at Matt Nost.
Oh, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed, don't forget we have a YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Give us some love there. Just look for our logo. Just put the top 10 anything, and you should be able to find us there. And if you don't mind coming over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Rocha Says, subscribe there too. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.